If you want to look away.
I want to grab
Oh God, sorry, just about my. But you see, have you guys had a conversation like this on radio?
About the youth thing?
Okay.
Like what we just spoken? No, we've not.
I want Let's start with the headlines, guys.
Give me headlines, let me repeat. Good afternoon and welcome to Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai and come to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. INEC clears ADA, ATP, 12 others for next stage of party registration. Icpc tracks government-funded projects across northern Nigeria, recovers 271 billion naira. In other news, Moscow says Ukraine launches 221 drones on Russia. Stay tuned for details of these stories and more in a moment. On the news at noon, heading to the national scene, Vice President Kashim Shettima has directed the Presidential Food System Coordinating Unit to expedite action on the disbursement of the federal government's 250 billion naira credit support for smallholder farmers at a single-digit interest rate. Shettima, who gave the directive during the 6th meeting of the PFSCU Steering Committee held in Abuja, directed for an implementation roadmap for the disbursement of the funds, stating that it is necessary to avoid further delays and ensure that the target beneficiaries of the initiative were reached. The Vice President commended President Bola Tinubu for granting the PFSCU the political backing to act boldly on priority reforms, notably the fertilizer raw material liberalization and the Presidential Seed Fund. Shettima also called for improved collaboration among stakeholders to revitalize the seed sector and expand the strategic grain reserve through the ongoing reform initiative of the federal government. Away from that, the federal government has announced that implementation of the 2025 national budget will commence by the end of September. 2024 budget winds down. The disclosure, which was made by the Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Tanimu Yakubu, at the third quarter ministerial stakeholders and citizens engagement forum in Abuja, noted that the 54.99 trillion naira 2025 budget is designed to stimulate economic growth, enhance public services, and drive investments in key sectors, stressing that effective implementation and prudent fiscal management will be critical to its success. He also emphasized the importance of citizen involvement, describing Nigerians as the ultimate owners of public resources. He listed initiatives such as translating budget documents into local languages, simplifying budget's content, and empowering communities to hold government accountable. The DG outlined strategies to support Nigeria's ambition of becoming a $1 trillion economy by 2030, including ward-based development programs across 8,809 wards, tax reforms, stronger fiscal discipline, and innovation partnerships. In the meantime, the federal government has inaugurated the governing councils and principal officers of 4 newly established federal universities. The Education Minister, Tunji Alausa, who inaugurated the governing councils, reaffirmed the commitment of the government to expanding access to quality higher education. The universities are Federal University of Agriculture and Technology, Okeho, Oyo State, and Federal University of Health, Sciences and Technology, Safe, Zamfara State, among others. Alausa described the establishment of the universities as a strategic intervention by President Bola Tinubu's administration. The minister explained that the move was aimed at addressing pressing national challenges such as food security, public health, climate change, renewable energy, and technological innovation. On electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has said that 14 associations have been cleared to proceed to the next stage of the applications to be registered as political parties in Nigeria. The National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Samuel Lumekun, who disclosed this after the Commission's meeting, said that 171 applications were received. He explained that each request was assessed on the basis of its prima facie compliance with the provisions of Section 222 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, Section 79, subsection 1, 2 and 4 of the Electoral Act 2022 and Clause 2, 1 and 2 of the Commission's Regulations and Guidelines for Political Parties 2022. The associations cleared are the African Transformation Party, Democratic Alliance ADA, Advanced Nigeria Progress, Abundant Social Party ASP, African Alliance Party AAP, Citizens Democratic Alliance CDA, and the Democratic Leadership Alliance DLA. Others are the Grassroots Initiative Party GRIP, Green Future Party GFP, Liberation People's Party LPP, National Democratic Party NDP, National Reform Party NRP, Patriotic People's Alliance PPA, and People's Freedom Party PFP. In a separate development, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Icpc, has tracked at least 1,440 government-funded projects across northern Nigeria worth more than 271 billion naira as part of its constituency and executive project tracking initiative. The Icpc chairman Musa Aliyu San, who made this known at a press briefing in Kano, revealed that 767 of the projects were located in the northwest, amounting to 112 billion naira, while 673 projects in the northeast accounted for a higher value of 158 billion naira. The anti-graft agency further disclosed that 7.26 billion naira in cash was recovered from the northwest, along with $1.06 million in foreign currency. It noted that in the northeast, 43.33 million naira was retrieved. Additionally, 14 buildings, 25 plots of land, and 3 farmlands were seized in the northwest during the operation. Back on the home front, the British Deputy High Commissioner at Lagos, Johnny Baxter, has applauded the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Umoeno, for his remarkable, visionary and impactful leadership as anchored by the Arise agenda. Speaking during a courtesy visit on the governor at the Government House, Uyo, Baxter said he was really impressed by the friendly ambience of the state, adding that the infrastructure, especially road network, were pointers to quality leadership. He particularly expressed satisfaction with the exceptional service delivery by the state-owned airline Ibom Air and described it as one of the best airlines in this part of the world. He further said that Ibom Air was a major avenue to boost the rich tourism and hospitality potentials of the state, adding that the state also has a huge potential in agriculture given its green and lush environment. Meanwhile, receiving Baxter and his team, Governor Eno commended the delegation, acknowledging Nigeria's age-long historical relationship with the United Kingdom and its diverse humanitarian programs. He disclosed that the state government had in recent past sponsored students from the state for strategic educational tour to the United Kingdom to enrich their knowledge and expose them to a different learning environment. According to Governor Eno, the idea was to make them see the limitless possibilities in life, to underscore the fact that places of their birth cannot limit them if they are focused on learning and are disciplined enough. The governor revealed that the state is developing its economic zones, including the Liberty Oil and Gas Free Trade Zones, Ibom Industrial City, and Itam Industrial Park in Uyo. Governor Eno further highlighted projects planned to be kick-started by the state to include Tree Crop Revolution, Ikorekpene International Market, and Rural Electrification Project, amongst others. Government House correspondent Jane Noir reports that Baxter, who was impressed by the governor's achievement within 2 years as captured by a brief documentary presentation, thereafter took a tour of some facilities of the state government, especially the Arise Resort, and expressed satisfaction with the project transformed from a 70-hectare erosion ravine disaster. In the meantime, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umoino has expressed delight over the exploits of Akwa Ibom indigents in their different fields of endeavor across the world. Governor Umoino registered his delight while interacting with Government House correspondents at the Victor Atta International Airport upon his return from the United Kingdom, where he met with British-based boxer of Akwa Ibom heritage Moses Itwauma and Mayor of Eglinton Jason Utitomfon. Governor Eno stated that in the course of his trip, he met with the two illustrious sons of the state and expressed the good wishes of Akwa Ibom people on their spectacular exploits. He described them as role models whose successes are worthy of emulation by other Akwa Ibom youths. The governor encouraged the youths to imbibe the true Akwa Ibom spirit and to desist from harboring a sense of entitlement, but to uphold the virtue of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and commitment in their pursuit of excellence. Meanwhile, the governor also explained that the Memorandum of Understanding he earlier signed with the Rural Electrification Agency regarding the state's rural electrification project would guarantee 24-hour power supply in the state. Government House correspondent Jenua reports that Governor Eno, who signed the MOU during the Rural Electrification Roundtable organized by REA, which he attended in FCT Abuja shortly after his arrival from the UK, added that the State Electricity Power Summit, scheduled for September 18 and 19 to be held in collaboration with the REA, would bring power to the underserved communities which are not linked to the national grid. And now to Africa, where South Sudan First Vice President Riek Machar has faced charges of treason and other serious crimes as fears grow that the East African country could be edging toward a return to civil war. Local justice authorities said Machar has been under house arrest since March after the transitional government he is a part of accused him of subversive activities against President Salva Kiir. In addition to treason, Machar and 7 others face charges of murder, conspiracy, terrorism, destruction of public property and military assets, and crimes against humanity. The charges stem from a violent incident in March when a militia known as the White Army overran a garrison of government troops, killing its commanding officer and others. The Justice Ministry said in a statement that the attack in Nasir, Upper Nile State, was influenced by Machar and others via coordinated military and political structures. And now on the foreign scene, Russia says it downed 221 Ukrainian drones launched on its territory overnight in one of the largest aerial assaults since May. The Defense Ministry said more than half of the drones were intercepted over the Bryansk and Smolensk regions southwest of Moscow, where Lukoil facilities were reportedly targeted. Authorities in the Leningrad region said 28 drones were brought down and that a fire had broken out on a vessel in the Baltic port of Primsk, Russia's largest oil terminal. They added that the blaze was extinguished without casualties or leaks. Meanwhile, officials said 2 civilians were killed in Ukraine's Sumy region when a Russian glide bomb struck a village near the border. Still on the foreign scene, several NATO members are reportedly sending troops, artillery and air defense systems to secure its eastern flank after what Poland called an unprecedented Russian drone incursion into its airspace. Reports say 3 Russian drones were shot down after crossing into Polish airspace. Other drones crashed to the ground and were later found across eastern Poland. Poland has requested a UN Security Council session about the incident, which will take place today. In response to the drone incursion, the Netherlands and the Czech Republic said they would send defenses to Poland, while Lithuania would receive a German brigade and greater warning of Russian attacks on Ukraine that could cross over. Still to come in the news. Arokotare is set for Wolves' debut against Newcastle United. Stay tuned for details in a moment. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. To conclude the news this hour, in business, barely 48 hours after the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural suspended its strike action, the union has alleged that the management of the Dangote refinery had reneged on the resolutions reached. In a statement jointly signed by its president and General Secretary Williams Akporia and Afolabi Olawale, respectively, Nupeng warned that it might resume the suspended industrial action following a breach of the agreement reached between Dangote Refinery, the federal government and all truck drivers who were members of Nupeng PTD. The union claimed that at a meeting convened by the Department of State Services and attended by the Minister of Finance Wale Edun and representatives of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC), the management of the Dangote Refinery and Petrochemicals agreed to the unionization of its employees. It further stated that notwithstanding the resolution reached and signed at the office of the DSS with 3 on the right of unionization of the workers, truck drivers who were Nupeng PTD members for several years were ordered to remove the union stickers from their trucks yesterday. Meanwhile, the Dangote Refinery will start the free fuel distribution scheme on Monday. The Dangote Group spokesman Anthony Chiagina said in a statement that the scheme would start with the Southwest, the Federal Capital Territory Abuja, Kwara, Delta, Rivers and Edo State. He added that the refinery has also dropped petrol retail prices to 841 naira per litre in Lagos and the Southwest and 851 naira per litre in Abuja, Edo, Kwara, Rivers and Delta State. Recall that the free fuel distribution scheme was supposed to have started in August but was delayed due to logistics challenges in China. On our health news, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors (NARD) has commenced a 5-day warning strike today following the expiration of its fresh ultimatum to the federal government over unpaid allowances, salary arrears and unresolved welfare issues. The association announced the industrial action after what it described as government inaction on long-standing demands. In a message titled Declaration of Strike Action today by NAT Secretary General Dr. Oluwasola Odumbaku, the association confirmed the commencement of the strike. He said all centre leadership is expected to guide their members accordingly. Still in health, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has urged residents to take ownership of malaria prevention by eliminating mosquito breeding sites, testing before treatment, and trusting the health system. Sanwo-Olu reaffirmed his administration's commitment to reducing malaria prevalence below 1% as the state intensifies efforts to achieve full malaria elimination. Speaking at the midterm review meeting of the Impact Project and the Pathway to Malaria Pre-Elimination and Digitization Program, the governor stressed the importance of accountability, data transparency and community ownership in the ongoing campaign. He noted that community participation alongside collaboration between the government and the private sector would ensure that malaria ceases to be a major public health problem in Lagos. Now to sports news, where Tolu Arokodare has started training with Premier League club Wolverhampton Wanderers. The Nigeria international completed his move to the Molineux from Belgian Pro League outfit KRC Genk. Arokodare's debut was, however, delayed by the international break. The 24-year-old shone for Nigeria, scoring the winning goal in the home clash with Amavubi of Rwanda after coming on as a substitute early in the second half. The striker also put up an impressive performance against South Africa on Tuesday, following another substitute appearance. Arokodare will be looking to make his debut when Wolves travel to Newcastle United on Saturday. Still in sports, Manchester United have announced Andre Onana's loan move to Turkey's Super League club Trabzonspor. The Red Devils made the announcement in a statement yesterday. The 29-year-old Cameroon international has made 102 appearances for the Reds since signing from Italian giants Inter in July 2023. On our entertainment news, Nigerian chef Hilda Basi has kicked off the attempt to cook the world's largest pot of jollof rice. The organizers of the World Jollof Festival announced that of the World Jollof Festival announced that the attempt will now take place at Eco Hotel Car Park B, Lagos, instead of Morio Kunola Park, Victoria Island, as earlier scheduled. The organizers noted that the venue was changed to accommodate the large number of people who've registered to attend. Reports say the world record attempt is a celebration of jollof. And that's all we have on this particular news bulletin. Do what for us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, SpectrumTVLive.ng. Spectrum Television News at 12 WIMM. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.